Continuing our video series on MainSmart program configuration. I'm going to go to the program configuration screen, and in this video I'm going to go over passwords and groups and permissions. So I think I'll kind of back into this. We'll start by adding a new password. So we'll click the New button, pick a user group, give the user a name, and a password. And usernames are not case sensitive. So we have 5 required fields here. This one I'm working on now, display name. Essentially, all this does is display the user's name on the reports when they print it. Basically, it'll say printed by. So that's what that does. Now, the rest of these fields you can populate, and probably should, especially if the user is going to be doing purchasing. If so, the program will use this information to populate a lot of the default fields on that screen. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save that. Now, suppose I've decided I need to move this user to a different group. Just like any other record in the program, I select the row I want to work with in the data grid, and I choose a different group, and I click Save. There's no need to re-enter the password. It's already stored. Okay, let's look at groups and permissions. Okay, the program comes with some predefined user groups: basic, requester, power user, and administrator. Now, on administrator, you won't see it in the groups and permissions screen here. The reason for that is the administrators have full control of the program. There's nothing that can be given to them or taken away from them. So the administrator has full reign of everything. You'll need to have at least 1 or 2 administrators within any organization. Only administrators can access the program configuration screen. For all other users, this will be grayed out. Okay, so let's suppose we want to edit a permission. First of all, let's look at this. We have the user group, and then we have the access area. The access area is essentially a group of permissions that relate to the same basic thing. In this case, configuration access area. When I select that row, the various permissions that are available become available as checkboxes. We can go in and check some of these and click Save, and that will save those permissions. Want to take them away, we just uncheck them and click Save. That's really all there is to it. The purchasing permissions, there's a little bit more to that. So if we go to Inventory and Purchasing, and we select, it's labeled Inventory, but it actually covers purchasing as well. We've got 2 full tabs dedicated to that. So most of these are probably fairly self-explanatory. Over here we have approval levels, and this is for line item approval. And you can set what parameters each level accommodates. For example, if we want to change this one to require 1 signature for anything under 750, we could do that. Now that's going to affect all users globally for the entire system. If we want to give the power users the ability to approve requisition line items up to 50,000, we can do that by checking this checkbox. Now that's going to require 2 signatures. Okay, so suppose we want to add our own custom user group. Go to Options, Create New Group. MainSmart will, if these are checked, add some default permissions, and that way you don't have to go through and check each one. Many of these permissions are fairly popular, so it'll automatically check a lot of those for you, and of course you can always go back and uncheck them, check others as needed. Alright, there's one user group that's a little bit unique, and actually 2, I guess the administrator is, but the Requester is also a little bit unique, and this comes pre-populated. Now, essentially, really all it is just another user group, but the way most users use it, especially for the purposes of work orders, is so that some users, for example, non-maintenance personnel, can submit service requests, and that's all they can do. So if you give them this set of permissions and assign someone to the requester user group, that user will only be able to submit a service request and nothing else. So that gives them access to the system. Essentially, these permissions give everybody in your organization, or should give everyone, access to the program at some level. So I'm going to go ahead and add a requester. And normally most companies and organizations will have quite a few requesters, so this might be a good exercise. So I'll click New. I'll pick Requester User Group. Okay. Actually, I think I have a Mr. Requester in there. And we'll give this person a password. Okay, so when I save this, what's going to happen is the program's going to prompt me to connect this requester user ID to an actual requester. The actual requester will be someone that can submit a request, and their name will show up on the work order. And I'll explain that further in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and say yes to this. Drag the screen back over here. And MainSmart pretty much populates what I need in here. Hit save, and I've added that requester. Okay, along with a requester name. So we have a requester ID login. So when this person logs in, the program will recognize that they are a requester, only let them into this screen. And their name will be stamped automatically onto any work requests that they do. This will be illustrated in another video under the work order and work request screen.